Hey everybody, I'm Jason. Welcome back to From Tree to Lumber. Today is a bit of a sort of a bittersweet day because I've actually decided to sell my OS18. So the point of today's video is sort of just to give it a little goodbye video. And I also took the entire sawmill into my shop, gave it a really thorough cleaning, set up everything just to make sure that it's, you know, in tip-top shape.
Okay, well, this video was intended to be a companion to the marketplace ad that I posted, and as luck would have it, I sold the machine before I was able to post this video. So I've kind of trimmed out all the sales pitch stuff and just left the visuals, and you'll be happy to know, as I am, that it was one of my subscribers that purchased it. And I believe that we are both happy with the price. I was not outrageous in my expectations.
There's really nothing wrong with this sawmill. The only reason I'm getting rid of it is because I bought that much larger one. And I had to do that because I'm going to be cutting a lot of white oak timbers. And it will do it, but I'm really afraid that it's going to burn the motor out. Like, it has to work very hard to cut you know, a 12 or 14 inch white oak timber. And I think if I did that for a full day, it'd be a bit too much for it. So I'm kind of sad to see it go. It's been an amazing machine. It got me into the hobby, and I've got nothing bad to say about it. I'm actually going to miss it. I will probably never use this machine after this, and it would be a terrible waste for it to sit around. Plus that new mill, well, it needs some upgrades to do what I want to do, and they're not cheap. To be completely honest with you, they're not cheap. So I'd like this to go to a good home. And today, what I'm going to do is I just want to make sure it works properly, so the new owners can take it with confidence. And that's really it. It's been a great machine. What I'm going to do today, just to confirm that the machine, you know, operates right and I did everything the way it was supposed to, which I'm sure I did. I've got these flitches. A lot of it's that maple that I cut a couple weeks ago. I don't have an awful lot of maple available to me, so I decided that maybe this might be a little bit too healthy a piece of wood to just toss. So I should be able to get some like 1x4s or whatever out of them. Plus I got a couple of pieces of white oak here that actually have some pretty good meat on them. So I think those are perfect for just testing out the machine, make sure that it's set up as I want it, and we'll demonstrate to the new owners that it's a great machine. So that's what we're going to do. Let's get to it.
So you'll notice that the track kind of moves around a little bit, and every now and then the saw head kind of gets caught up on the transitions. That's because it's not on a very secure base. I've just got it sitting on some 2x4s, and it's you know, wants to move a little bit. Obviously, when it gets set up properly, it wouldn't do this.
So as you can see, I've got the mill set up, and it's short log configuration. One of the great things about having the extra length, the extra track, is that I can do this. So on this side over here, I've got two of these original Frontier clamps that I'm using to edge. They're very good for for full logs and thicker pieces. And then I've got my little edge clamps, the homemade edge clamps on this side, which is much better for holding it tight to the bunks. That way, it doesn't rise and it keeps my wood parallel. So, this is a very popular. This is probably my favorite configuration. I use it all the time when I'm not cutting long stuff, right? So the reason I took the edges off these two first is because the edge clamps over here do a much better job if they're up against, a cut edge rather than a kind of a weak round one or a weak even bark one. So it just makes it easier to hold. Most of the others are that way from when I first cut them, so didn't have to worry about them too much. All right, that's the maple done. Now you're probably wondering why I left so much wane on the edges. Some of that's inevitable, but really what I've done is I've actually ripped these to 1.5 inches thick. The reason for that is I actually have a use for these, and what I want is a full 1 1/8 inch squares out of this. I know it's weird, but it fits the need perfectly. So I left a little bit of meat on it, and that means a little bit more wane. But what that will give me in the end, once these things dry out, they're going to shrink a little bit, and then the planer is going to take some off, and blah 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 blah. So I left them thick. There's a little bit of stuff on the side, but I'm going to get an awful lot of 1 1/8 by 1 1/8 inch square stuff out of this. So that's my reasoning. Kind of weird maybe, but that's the beauty of having your own mill, is you can cut exactly what you want. See, check that piece out, all that spalting. That's way too nice for firewood. All right, so there we have it. That's probably gonna be the last video. I might use the saw just a little bit more, just to do some more edging every now and then, because I do have a pretty considerable pile of flinch over there. But it did a great job for today, as I expected it to. It's definitely running exactly as it should be. I did run into a little bit of trouble there because I forgot to tighten up a couple of these bolts here, so the track came out of alignment. But that's my fault, not the saw's. It's running as I expect. So.